Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salah. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Gabar from the GMS Virginia camp coming at you with another show lesson that I pray that you find edifying. So I'm going to bring out this article, but before I do so, I'd like to break out this scripture. And it's from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. And I'll read down a little bit. And it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Verse 2. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the scriptures are made plain, until, the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so that we may bring them forth and warn you people of what's coming, what will come to pass, Verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So the vision that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai told his prophets to warn his people about is coming to pass, and it's not lying. Your prophets have been out there on the highways and byways for decades, starting with Apostle Tahar on down, throughout the bishops, the elders, and the rest of the servants of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai who are out there on the highways and byways teaching and preaching and warning the people of the up and coming calamities, because right now it's before you. Right now it's in front of you, though it tarry, wait for it. And it did tarry. I mean, the apostles have been out there on the highways and byways for over three decades, and it seemed as though it was tarrying, You hear the apostles say all the time, they've never seen it like this, even 10, 20, or even 30 years ago. They've never seen it like this. So although it tarried, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And what the Lord is telling you is, when it comes, it's not going to hold off for no one. It's not going to, it's not going to be put off. Yahweh Shai's words will come to pass. So I got this article here out of this Times of Swaziland, and I'm gonna go into it. And the title of it reads, Things Happening Fast Because of Social Decay. Well, that's not true. The things are happening fast because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said that, it will not tarry. I just read it. But the people of the world equate it to, social decay, not realizing that it was through, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that brought about a social decay, that's bringing about a famine, that's bringing about a world war, a civil war, financial collapse, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is destroying his kingdom from the inside out, you know? And then the final result is, destroying this, Babylon the Great with nuclear fire, and as well as, the lasers from the chariots. So, reading on with the article, it reads, Sir, the rate of people taking advantage and manipulating the country seems to be escalating every minute of the day. Our country is in a crisis due to those who think of their greed and satisfaction, never bothering to think about the nation at large. So here it is, the elites, are only out for the elites because they want to continue on with their rulership, They want to be able to go on forever being in power, controlling everything. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai, has a different plan. As a matter of fact, let me grab another precept, because these people seem to think that what they are planning is gonna, go on forever, and that's just not the case, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai, has set the bounds that, this wicked kingdom can't go beyond. So this is out of the book of Second Esdras, chapter 4 and verse number 37. And it reads, By measure has he measured the times, and by number has he measured the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai has things set for an appointed time, for an appointed season, to happen to an appointed people. Everything is set to happen when Yahweh Shem Yahushai, determines that the time that he set has been fulfilled, and nothing's going to change that, so you can go ahead and you can try to manipulate the system or manipulate the people or manipulate the money and do whatever it is that you need to do. But at the end of the day, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall not come back void. Everything that the Lord said will come to pass is going to come to pass. Reading on with the article. What exactly am I referring to when I say a broken society? Am I talking about am I talking about the rife murders, crime, injustice, and all? In a nutshell, I'm actually referring to all the wrongdoings happening around us. We have a parliament which tends to help solve some unlawful situations that happen to befall us every now and again. So here it is, the author or the writer, is bringing to light, the issues that he sees going on within the system, and making also a very sharp point that, the judicial system, isn't solving all of the problems. In fact, when you look at the judicial system as a whole, it's not meant to solve all the problems. The laws aren't made so that, you can live in peace and harmony. Laws are created to, at the end of the day, bring in money and also destroy a people, as well as fulfill agendas or whatnot, but it's all about money and it's all about destroying the people. And when you can create money while destroying the people, you're not gonna create righteous laws that would prohibit that from happening. I mean, that's just not gonna happen because you based everything off of a monetary value. you know Reading on, we also have a police service which is trying by all means to help society fight crime. Now the policing isn't meant to stop crime, as in stopping all crime. It's meant to protect the elite. At the end of the day, the police protect or serve and protect the elite. It doesn't serve and protect the poor. In fact, it actually destroys the poor, you know, because it's off of the poor that, you know, the policing actually makes money, you know, by actually policing the poor. You're justified in the monetary or you're justified in the monies that you're able to get to help in your policing. For an example, better patrol cars, better weapons, more personnel, better armor, etc., etc. You know, the police don't use that or need that to, you know, um, to fight crime against the rich. No, the police use these things to fight against the poor. And who are you poor? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You Israelites by blood. So at the end of the day, this entire system is meant to oppress you, destroy you, and make money off you. Reading on with the article, not to mention church denominations and social committees, which also fight against crime, but in vain. So even your churches has turned into a form of policing. Actually, I shouldn't even say policing. Even your churches have turned into a form of counseling. On the left-hand side, because these ragtag churches give you jakes, like a false hope in a system that's being destroyed. These churches actually turn a lot of you jakes into worse people than what you actually are, because then, these churches are turning around and say, well, it's okay to do this because the Lord loves you. So as long as you have this mentality that the Lord loves you and the Lord isn't going to get mad at what you're doing, a lot of you jakes become more and more wicked based off of this, because you actually have in your mind that you can do anything and not have to pay a penalty for it. So these churches are wicked, and also a lot of these social committees have a strong sense of a false direction. These social committees aren't meant to benefit and help you. These committees were set up to subdue you, to make you subtile, to again give you the false impression that you can make it in this system if you change your attitude to this, if you don't stand up for what you believe in, if you go along with the system. So a lot of you Jays got to come to the realization that this system is meant to constantly oppress you, even while you sleep. Nothing in this place is is beneficial for you, it all destroys you. I'm not saying make the laws more stringent or any tighter. Well, the laws are stringent and they are tighter for you Jakes. But what you don't understand is it's about to get more stringent and more tighter through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua because you haven't repented and you just won't repent. I had a person look at me in my face and say, I'm not going to repent. You know, thou sayest. It doesn't help because the public it doesn't help because the public seemingly hates authority. The public doesn't hate authority. The public hates unrighteous authority. Well, let me rephrase that. The poor doesn't hate authority. The poor hates unrighteous authority. But the poor doesn't know what a righteous authority is. So they rebel against the authority that's in place. You know? Because if you didn't oppress the people and you treated the poor righteously, then it would be a different situation, you know? I'm not saying that the poor would be happy being oppressed on any level. They don't. But the head is so sick that they actually have grown accustomed to their oppression. They actually enjoy it. Jake actually thinks he's free when in fact his oppression is at a level that he doesn't even understand. Because at one point it was the oppression of the body, the oppression of the work, the oppression to be forced to do something that you didn't necessarily want to do. Jake is so far gone now that the oppression has actually set into the mind, where in Jake's mind, you know, they actually think they got a good life, not realizing that the life to come is far better than they ever imagined. You know? And plus, Jake is confused. The whole head is sick. Reading on with the article. Don't make the laws to be tyrants oppressing the people. We need not be pushed back against the laws. Where exactly is this going? What I'm trying to translate to society is that we all need a self introspection and integrity from within. No, you don't need a self introspection and integrity from within. What you need is correction through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because 2/3 of you, Jake, even if you look within yourselves and you see a fault, you're not going to change. You know, you're not going to change because you're just wicked. You know, you're just wicked. Reading on with the article, back then, in the times of Kagago, all that was happening was incorrect order because of the unity and morality within people. These people never had unity nor morality. It was a sense false of well, it was a false sense of all of these things. You Jakes don't know what unity is. Because even if you had unity, there would be a disruption within the unity because there's always going to be this one Jake who thinks that he should be in charge. There's always going to be this one Jake that actually thinks that the next guy is doing it wrong. And as far as morality, you know, you Jakes don't even know what morality is. Your sense of morality is being taught by the same man who's oppressing you from day to day. Here it is. You can actually not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and you don't even know his name. And you think that by you giving charity to an organization in the name of some false deity that you're somewhat good. No, you're wicked. So you Jakes don't even have the truth to understand how off your morality is. Nowadays, things tend to happen so fast simply because of social decay. No, things are happening fast because what I read in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, though it tarry, wait for it. You know, it will surely come, it will not tarry. Things are happening because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is making his move to destroy this wicked kingdom, not because of social decay. With the rise of social media, people have become self absorbed and disconnected from their communities. And that's true. That's true. A lot of you Jakes have become self-centered into thinking that the universe revolves around you. And it doesn't. And you women are just destroyed. You women are just destroyed. Period, point blank. So if you Jakes actually think that the world revolves around you, you women think that the universe was created by you, which is far from the truth. And you know, you're gonna learn here real soon that Yahweh Shem Yahushai ain't playing with y'all people. You know? Society only thrives when individuals have empathy for others. There's no empathy for others. I mean, by nature, we are empathetic towards each other, but you know, these other nations don't have any empathy towards you, Jakes. Actually, to tell you the truth, even you Jakes don't have other empathy for you other Jakes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a dog eat dog world. You know, I just brought out you Jakes will never get along because there's always going to be that one Jake that thinks that he should be in charge. There's going to be that one Jake who wants to see you removed so that he can be put in your place. So even a lot of you Jakes don't have empathy for your own people. Hell, you know, you people don't even have empathy for your own kids, your own relatives. You know? Something that is rapidly being lost. And the scriptures say, well, hold on a second. Let me get that out of the book of Second Esdras. Let me see. Let me get that. Let me get that. Let me get that chapter. Salakia, chapter. Yeah. I start at the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, and verse. Let me see. Because a lot of you people don't even, you know, have empathy for others. I start at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. That's the point right there. A lot of you men are going to be invading one another. You know? Empathy is going to go out the door. Sympathy is going to go out the door. The love of your fellow man is going to go out the door. All of these things are rapidly being lost. And why is that? Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is making it so. You know, this is the Lord's movie. The Lord likes controversy. You know? Society only thrives when individuals have empathy for others, something that is rapidly being lost. Why does everyone feel okay with the label of unity during natural election of during that national elections, and everything made to be published. It is absolutely not a good practice for us. We we don't have to pretend like all of this is well for the benefit of neighboring countries. Yet we know we are living in a sty. So, a broken society is a theme documenting violent crime, child neglect, pregnancy, and the beneficial cheats, which are all proof of the widespread social decay. This place has never had, well, this place has always had a social decay. It's always had it. The reason why it's to the forefront now is because the rulers of this wicked kingdom is starting to see it. The common folk are starting to see how how unfair they've been dealt, in their kingdom. You know, uh, the last paragraph. So, a broken society is a theme documenting violent crime, child neglect, teenage pregnancy, and beneficial cheats, which are all proof of the widespread social decay. Some argue that a broken society is a myth. The society has never been fixed. The world of Israel has always been broken. So it's not a new thing to me to know that the nation of Israel has been destroyed. Like I said, these other nations are starting to feel what we felt. So now they may feel the need, to want to write about it, to try to make a change before it gets any worse. You know, in a global context, Eswatini is one of the safest countries in the world. Thus, focusing on individual crimes gives us a warped view of reality. Yeah, yes. So when you look at crime as being one-sided, then you're warped because you're not looking at the big picture. You're not understanding that crime is created by everyone, and it's only going to get worse. And so you have a false sense of reality in thinking that it's not going to affect you or even hit you. You know, our society functions through reported kindness of high statutes, people who are living large. The $1 million question is, what do we really want? Do we want to live in a cultural liberation that 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 displaces traditional manners and morals? Or do we want to live in a legal revolution that emphasizes individual rights instead of responsibilities? That's just up to us. We have to man up and act on everything, demolishing our lovely country. So, this is an article that, you know, dealt with the issues in another country, but it doesn't matter. If it's happening in Africa, you better bet your bottom dollar, it's happening over here in Babylon the Great. You know, quite frankly, that's just geography. But regardless to the point or that point, you know, this is happening in the world. You know, things are happening fast because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said it would, because he's moving fast. He's going to destroy this wicked kingdom, and rightfully so. Anyhow, I just wanted to bring that out, because a lot of jakes ain't paying attention, to what's going on. And these calamities are going to hit them, like a brick. You know, these famines are coming and it's coming fast. You know, world war is is on the table. Nuclear talks are, like a common thing. A financial collapse is imminent. You know, cyber attacks is the constant buzzword. And of all these things, you Jakes just aren't paying attention because you don't think it's going to affect you. You don't think it's going to happen to you. And trust me, it's happening fast. It's happening so fast that even if you Jakes stop for a moment to look at what's going on, so much has went past you that you don't even see it because you think that you're in a good case because food is cheap. But, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai got you Jakes in a trick bag. You know, a lot of you Jakes, man, a lot of you Jakes are about to go through it. Let me see if I got another preset. Salakia. Um, Let me see. Let me bring this out. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 18. Actually, I'll start at 17. And this is Edris. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? What days? The end days. In this time. Who's going to deliver you in this time? Because things are happening fast. The beginnings of sorrows and great mournings. So what you're seeing now is just the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine. Salakia. The beginning of famines and great death. So this is the beginning of famine and the beginning of great death. This is just the beginning. Wrap your head around that, people. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. You people haven't even begun to mourn. You people haven't even begun to feel sorrow. The beginning of famine and great death. What you see happening in the stores at a very fast rate is the beginning of famine. This is the beginning of it. And great death. So if this is the beginning of famine and great death, man, you people better sit back and wonder, what will it be like when it really goes all in? The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginnings of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So the beginning of evil, and it's coming. That crime is escalating. Things are happening fast. And evils, man. I mean, the evils that's going to be happening when this society breaks down is going to be at a level of, quite honestly, you people I've never seen it before. You people have never seen it before. You have never seen complete lawlessness on a level that nobody's coming to save you. If no one's coming to save you, you are going to need a savior. You are going to need protection in that day, in these days. Because it's not like you're going to be able to call 911 and the cops come and solve the crime for you and catch the criminal. Shit. The cops are going to be the fucking criminals. The cops are going to be coming door to door and taking what you got, doing what they want to do to you and your family. And if you don't have that hedge, if you don't have that protection, you're fucked. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish. Anguish? Tribulation? Famine? Plagues? Are sent as scourges for amendment. So these things are sent to you, Jakes, for your amendment, for an amendment. Because you refuse to hearken. So the Lord's going to whip your ass. You can have two kids that both screwed up, and you whip them both. One kid's going to get it and apologize and do right, and that other kid is going to continue to do wicked. And at some point, the father's going to be like, all right, obviously the first ass whooping I gave you wasn't enough. Your brother understood. He got it right. So I'm going to put your brother over there with the house of David because he got it, he understood, he repented, and he's not going to do it again. But your ass, I'm going to stick with the house of Saul because at the end of the day, I'm going to whip your ass. What? And this is the point right here. But for all these things, for all that ass whooping, all that famine, all those plagues and tribulations and anguishes, for all those things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So you people ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it. The Lord said you ain't gonna get it. And the same must know it after death by pain. So with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakbarash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. And until the next lesson, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hararatazah, Shalom.